This video is sponsored by the Deck of Many and their Big Bad Booklet series. Alright, so last episode was a bit of a downer, huh? Gothi reflected on trauma, Arena chucked a corpse and got dumped by a passive Abby, crystal stuff. Sips decided to leave the party to deal with angst. Then Arena also left.
What?
'Cause Arena. What just happened? And we finally got to meet that disembodied voice that keeps chatting up Sips. But hey, it wasn't all bad. Gothi did save the town. And Arena found out her mom was alive. Right? Oh, come on. Sometimes things need to get worse before they get better. Or things just keep getting worse. Now, some of you have been asking, oh, new characters? Time skip? New campaign? Yeah. Oh dear, competent viewer. You underestimate our group's sheer stupidity. For you see, the campaign still goes on, as usual. But as a 3-split story. This is how we did it. We still all play together, but take turns every 15 to 20 minutes. Give or take. Not everybody's cup of tea, but it worked for us. To Felix's horror. So now we are back into the dark forest, with Sips, who is very much not alone. I feel that you have questions. Yeah, finding a random crystal in my head comes with questions. And I wish to give you answers, but in due time. Oh, don't give me that bull. Why not now? Well, mostly because your camp is being attacked. Yeah. Sips hears screaming in the distance. I'm not emotionally invested in them. They are your ride, however. We will pick this up later. But just so you know, I don't like you. And I'm not here to be liked. Sips goes off and sees, a dire bear attacking the camp. He fights it off, wins, but gets pretty injured. I'm just gonna lay down for a sec. So he rests and waits for the next day to travel. Back at the capital, Arena spends the next few days tying up loose ends, getting rid of glitter, establishing the rightful heirs to the throne of Kylandria, and calling up a grumpy NPC and fan favorite, Mr. Wizardly. Yeah, sorry guys, he removed the curse. This is his choice. Even though he kinda had the legs for it. Ugh, what do you want? We need you to set up portals between the Bellowing Wilds and Kylandria's capital. Oh, so are you paying in blood? I do take souls now. Oh, I'm not paying. They are. With money? Damn. Yeah. Arena pretty much sets up a deal between Mr. Wizardly and the Kingdom of Kylandria to have portals between the cities in the Bellowing Wilds to the capital. AKA, we unlocked fast travel. Thank God. Arena gets info from eyes and ears about where her mother could possibly have fled to. She finds out that her mother was smuggled out with several staff members and headed towards the Bellowing Wilds. Now with a quest, Arena heads out, but just before she leaves, she's stopped by Bucket. Thanking her and wishing her luck, he then mentions something odd that happened during the whole battle outside the castle gates thing. He explains that he witnessed Sneeze just drop dead for no reason, and then in a few minutes get back up again, like nothing happened. Yeah, that's not normal? Yeah, I'd think. Maybe undead. Better take this holy water. Thanks? But Sneeze is not really my problem anymore, so thanks for the cryptic foreshadowing, maybe? And she heads off towards the Bellowing Wilds on her own, taking the giant mech dragon. Alright, on my own! Who needs those guys? Bunch of jerks! I'm a lone magical girl with Just the open skies, wind on her face, and the adventure ahead. Finally, arena time. Ah! Yeah, Felix tossed a coin to see who Sneeze would end up with, and yeah. Just had to test something. So yeah, get ready for that duo. Back with Sips, traveling into the Kylandrian mountains, he comes to settle in a small village called Amarin. A quaint village ran by orcs. Werewolf hunting orcs. Quaint. And what is your plan? God, could you not? Still a bit freaked out about the disembodied voice in my head randomly talking to me. Do you wish me to raise your hand when I want to talk? No! There will be no raising of my hand or controlling anything of mine. Rule number 1. I am the captain of this ship, so no controlling the monkey. Got it? Your body is not a ship. You being a captain makes no sense. Sips asks around to find a place and discovers a secluded abandoned cabin just outside the village to stay in. It's good enough. He enters the cabin and, make a reflex, is instantly mauled by a raccoon. Or a pack of them. I don't remember. After forcibly evicting the raccoons, Sips is left in the cozy cabin. It's a dump. But you know what? He's a level 8 sorcerer at this point. He got magic and is lazy. So he starts to clean with magic and casts mending on some ripped curtains in the window. Now, for a normal sorcerer, this is easy. This is fine. But we're playing Sips, baby, and this monkey is a fantastic disaster. 'Cause as he casts, it goes wild. And by just trying to simply mend these curtains, he tears a hole into the material plane and creates a one-way portal from the shadow plane. Just right between the curtains. Everything sucks. I'm just gonna put a chair in front of that. And he just leaves it. With a lamp in front of it. I'm not an idiot. It's fine. It'll be fine. So he gets the cabin to a point where it kind of starts to feel like home. Misery. Kinda. Suffering. What you doing? Ah! Whoa! You're really weird. What are you? What? How? What? Who are you? I'm Vicky. And our next NPC. You have a tail. It's so fluffy. No touch. How did you get in here? The door was locked. Ooh, what's this? Don't touch that. All right, okay. I'm not having another kid in this campaign. Out. So why are you here? Ah, Jesus! How did you... Can you cast Blink or something? What's Blink? Are you a wizard or what? No. Do I look like a nerd? Oh, what's this? Wait, stop! And when Vicky reaches out to touch Sips's cursed crocodile hand, nothing happens. Don't touch me. Or in fact, don't touch anything. Just leave. Hey! You're really starting to piss me off. Boop. You need to leave. But I don't wanna. Well, you better. 'Cause you know, the last little girl I knew, I ate her heart. Cool! What did it taste like? Regret. Neat. Look, you can't be here. But you're so cool. You get one question. Okay. What are you? A monkey, I think. It's complicated. Now get out, get out, get out, get out, get out! Wait! What's your name? My name? Nope! Too personal! Back in a less crazy situation, Gothi ties up loose ends in the few days, like Arena. She packs up and gets ready to leave the capital towards Alchemist Quarry with Jawbone. Looking for Sneeze, she finds out from Bucket that he left with Arena. Bucket then hands her a bottle of holy water, with no explanation. Thank you. She then goes through one of Wizardly's new portals in the capital, Alchemist Quarry, to continue with Jack's quest. The city is back to its magical ways and fix the whole Tarask issue, along with establishing a new leader, which they were pretty happy about. Kinora wasn't very popular. Gothi eventually finds Jack in a bar, who's, pissed. Oh, well, look who finally showed up. I'm sorry, Jack. I know it's been weeks? Yeah, I've been waiting for y'all to... Where's the sparkly girl and grumpy monkey? A lot has happened. Gothi then explains the situation, and both of them start to hash out a plan. Recap! Jack's original quest was to go to these ancient Fourclaimer ruins and collect these big sun crystals, big enough to crush your grandma with. And when we have all 5 of them, Jack will be able to open the portal that the Fourclaimers escaped into 2,500 years ago. We got 4 of them so far, and the ruins in Alchemist Quarry was the 5th. Wait, you've been here for weeks. Why didn't you just go get the crystal yourself? Well, I'm a bit of a coward. Look, I can't open the portal if I'm dead. Those ruins are dangerous. That's why I hired you guys. I'm an archaeologist, not a 6.5-foot tall Amazonian with guns that can crush boulders. Fair enough. Gothi, we're so close. Just this last crystal and we can open the portal. A whole ancient society could be on the other side, and maybe even some answers for you too. Alright. So what's first? Well, we need to get into the ruins and get the final crystal. I got 3 of the crystals with me, and you brought the 4th one from the giant mech dragon, right? So now can we talk? Yes. Ask whatever you desire. Well, first of all, I don't like talking to a disembodied voice I can't see. Sips prepares to cast Minor Illusion. Essentially, I came up with the idea that Zano uses Sips' magic to cast an image of himself in front of Sips and use it like a puppet. Kinda like a hologram? He agrees, casts it, and standing in front of Sips is a 7-foot-tall, Fourclaimer man, dark gray skin, glowing white markings, and a large crystal on his forehead. An illusion of the being himself. Zano. Whoa, okay, I know you got a whole Ken doll situation going on, but I'm gonna need you to illusion some pants. Clothes are inefficient and unnecessary for this conversation. Oh, they are very necessary for this conversation. Very well. Are those cargo pants? The pockets are efficient. What are we in the fantasy 90s? Put on something from this plane. Fine. Does this satisfy? It'll do. So, what do you wish to ask me? Where do I start? What are you? How did you get in my head? Why the heart eating? But most importantly, what do you want? What do I want? What I want is to commit a genocide, and you are going to help me do it. This video is sponsored by The Deck of Many and their Big Bad Booklet series. The Big Bad Booklet is a monthly zine by The Deck of Many about boss monsters for 5th edition. This month we got Yix, Yix, Yik. Nailed it. Is a giant vulture with the habit of collecting bones of legendary heroes. Well, isn't that nice? It's got a hobby, and its hobby is taking your bones. So subscribe at bigbadbooklet.com and get yourself a bone-stealing vulture that has too much time on its hands. Wings. Fun. Also, side note, the Deck of Many is making cool custom monsters on their Patreon like this and this. Look at that guy! So fluffy. So gonna mess up your... So go check out all this rad stuff. Link in the description.